Yeah, so that real life photo of the Galaxy S10 that's going around, I don't think it's real. Also, I was right about the iPhone XR. Again.
Get daily tech news in a way that doesn't suck. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Front Page Tech, of course, show that gives you all the latest tech news from one geek. That is me to another. That is you. Happy day that it is. Tuesday. It is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Of course, it's Tuesday when I'm filming this. When you see it, it might not be that day. It's funny how time zones work, huh? Everyone in the comment section. All right, so a quick heads up before we dive into today's news. Every single year, it is our annual tradition, if you will, to give you a worst in tech episode. The top, I think, 10 worst things that happened in tech for that given year. I will link last year's episode of the worst in tech. I'll put that down in the description below. But now I'm going to leave it up to you. We haven't really done this before. We've just sort of made our own list. What do you guys think was the worst things that happened in tech this year? Let us know in the comment section. Give us a few things that you think were just the worst that happened this year. And maybe you'll make it into the episode. Okay, news. First story of the day. Story numero uno is about Sundar Pichai, Google's CEO. He was in front of Congress today, similar to what we sort of saw with Mark Zuckerberg in front of Congress. Just less Zuck. More Sundar. Same awkward, though. So today was the day that Congress got Sundar to sit across from them, and they got to question him about Google and how Google works and Google's practices, and like... It makes sense why they do it, why they would want to do it. My issue is just, once again, it's a bunch of old people asking questions that don't fucking matter. Once again, just as they did with Mark Zuckerberg, they asked Sundar not even close to the right questions. Like, not the questions that they should have asked him about Google's practices as a company, but instead they just basically asked him how the fuck it works. And ladies and gentlemen, you don't need to ask the CEO of Google how it all works. Just if you don't know how a search engine works, maybe you should just go home for the day. Like this is a great example. One of my favorite parts. Steve King asked Sundar, Jesus, here's the clip.
She's playing a little game, kind of game a kid would play, and up on there pops a picture of her grandfather. And I'm not going to say into the record what kind of language was used around that picture of her grandfather, but I'd ask you, how does that show up on a 7-year-old's iPhone who's playing a kid's game?
Congressman, iPhone is made by a different company, and so, you know, I mean...
Yep, that's right. Sundar, in front of Congress, had to remind them that Google doesn't make iPhones. Oh, but then it continues. He goes on to say, oh, maybe it was an Android device. Who knows? No, you stupid f***. Which one is it? Does she have an iPhone or an Android device? Because that is very relevant to your question. That matters. You can't just be like, oh, either one. Really? Sundar, what do you think? Please respond. Bunch of old shitheads in the government that have no idea how this... Next time we want to sit a CEO of a major tech company in front of Congress, can we have, like, the people that ask the questions, can we have them take a test on, like, how-to technology? If they pass that, you can ask questions to the CEOs of the major technology companies, you fucks. All right, so we got a leak. A real-life photo of the front of the Galaxy S10. Now, I want to say this. If this is real, this is fucking beautiful. So this, supposedly, is the image of the Galaxy S10 with that, like, pill notch thing. You know that... Okay, these images. Look, top right corner, that, like, pill-shaped double camera notch thing. Yeah, that. This photo is with that disabled, so effectively turned off. Those pixels on top turned off. And real quick, just to address the comments that I've been seeing, claiming that I'm wrong, that I was lying about the Galaxy S10, that it's not going to have that, like, the cameras over in the top right corner, that it's actually going to have it in the center, because Evan Blast tweeted out these images with the cameras, like, in the middle. So, not the right corner. On the S10, you got that single lens in the middle. S10 Plus, you got the dual lenses in the middle. And I get it. Evan is very, very reputable. I also respect him, but I am not wrong. So just because Evan tweeted something, don't yell at me and call me a liar. That is not it. The camera's gonna be in the right corner. Thank you very much. Okay, so back to this image. Like, if the phone shipped like this, it would be amazing. Like, I can't get over how great this looks. This is such an effective and practical way to disable any form of notch. So even though it has those dual cameras on the right side, disabling the top, but still using that space up there, it's just great. Samsung, if this is real, my God. Here's the thing though, I don't think that's real. I think it's just a nice Photoshop or a nice concept from a fan. I don't think this is real. I mean, from the renders we've seen, like, look at this. That is not the concept or the real life photo that we just saw. Those dual cameras are much smaller than what we saw in these renders, and I'm leaning more towards these renders being more of the accurate size for these camera cutouts. I mean, even if we look at the real deal in the Galaxy A8s, that camera cutout is much, much bigger than this real-life photo suggests. Now, obviously, there's going to be a difference between the A8s and, like, the flagship Galaxy S10. I'm aware, but I just don't think there's going to be that much of a difference. Like, this would be dramatically different. So listen, I'm sure these phones are gonna look great regardless, right? But I'm not sold on the real life photo. I don't think that's what we're gonna get. Let me know in the comments, is this real? Do you think this is real? Did somebody stand in front of a real Galaxy S10 and snap a picture and send it to the interwebs? Because I doubt it. I don't think that's real. Sorry to crush your hopes and dreams, but I'm thinking no. All right, now let's talk about Apple. Let's talk about iPhone stuff. Specifically, iPhone XR. Rumor has it that the phone is a flop. It is failing. In fact, the rumors are so strong that it initially caused Apple's stock to fall. I mean, it's still in free fall, but the iPhone XR poor sales thing is what started the whole thing. There were supply chain rumors that were suggesting that Apple was cutting a bunch of production, that the phone wasn't selling well, and it was just chaos. On top of that, you got a bunch of YouTubers that jumped on this and was like, it's failing, it's a flop, Apple's doomed, it's over. Rest in spaghetti, never forget it. But you might remember that I put on my little cape of truth and I told you what was actually happening. We put out an episode, something about like the truth of the poor iPhone sales or something like that. I'm not gonna look it up. And in that episode, I reminded you that this happens every single year. We hear from supply chains, rumors that the phones are failing, Apple's doomed, it's all over, and the stock falls every single year and then kicks back up. It is made, these rumors are made to manipulate the stock market, and it works every single year. And I, like we as YouTubers personally, have fallen for this every single year. We've covered this every year. Apple's doomed, it's all over, we were part of the party. Not this year. I try to tell you that's not what's happening. What we're actually seeing is just sort of false reports, rumors to try to scare everyone, manipulate the stock market. It's a common practice. It happens every single year. This year, no different. So now we have info straight out of Foxconn, which is Apple's primary assembler for the iPhone. And we have corroborating reports from TMSC, who is responsible for the processors that are used in iPhones. So all this month, all of November, we have seen reports that Apple's doomed, the iPhone XR is failing, is flopping, but that's not what was actually happening this month in November. For one, Foxconn reported record revenue for November, which is like 19.5 billion. So regardless of the reports and the rumors that we've been getting, it seems the fact of the matter is, at least for Foxconn and TSMC, both really, really important for Apple's supply chain, they're coming back reporting strong revenue. Now, a couple things here to take us back into reality. Number one, this is for the last 30-day period. That does not tell us the whole story. So this does not mean that the iPhone XR is just selling like crazy. It's nuts. Oh my God, holy shit. But this does directly counter the rumors and bullshit that we've been getting all month about the iPhone XR's failure. Number two dose. There is also a chance that this is not directly tied to the iPhone XR. This could also mean that the iPhone XS or XS Max is doing really well. But if you watch this show, you know that's not the case. You know the iPhone XR is outselling the iPhone XS and XS Max every single day. In fact, Apple said it. You might remember this from last week, I think, where Apple came out themselves and said, yep, iPhone XR, most popular iPhone we have every day since it was released. So, ladies and gentlemen, it seems maybe Don't believe all the articles, all the blog posts that you see about Apple's demise and the flopping iPhone stuff that usually, by the way, stems from one rumor, one report that then the rest of the blogs cover, and you can all trace it back to one single report. Happens every single year. So maybe we don't trust that. Maybe we don't trust your favorite YouTubers who love to get up in their balls with all their emotions and say that Apple's failing. Maybe calm down. Yeah. The iPhone XR is fine. The iPhone XS, XS Max is fine. We don't know. We won't know exactly how well they do for a while, but the whole Doom thing, I think we can just put that one to rest. And listen, if you don't trust me at this point, I don't know what to tell you.
And now, today's sponsor.
Dear adults that are watching this show, the night is dark and full of terrors, and that's why you need security lights. So how about taking a look at the ones from our friends over at Sansi? With so many different LED security lights to choose from the more traditional to the full-on RGB, Sansi has you covered. And right now they're doing a huge Christmas sale, so you could be looking at up to like 60% off. Of course, our special link as well as multiple discount codes are down in the description below, so what are you waiting for? And that is the show. Hopefully you liked it, you learned something. If you did, hit the like button. If you hate my stupid face, hit the dislike button. If you're new here, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow.